Hi, good morning. This is Reverend Janice Chrysler of Mindful Journey, and I'm here this Friday, as usual, to provide messages from Spirit. What I usually use my Goddess Speak cards, but because for this past week during the morning meditations, I have been using the Oracle cards beyond the chakras, I thought that I would use those today for our readings. When I first created these cards, these were the ones I used. Now I combine them when I do a private reading for people with my other cards if guided to do so. So I just thought it'd be a good way to end the week to show you as well how you can use these for a personal reading. So I always begin by just shuffling the cards, and I've asked Spirit to guide me when to stop and that I may receive messages for the higher good of all who are listening, especially today. Now, just because there are words and messages written on these cards doesn't mean that they're not unique to you. I've been at places where I've used these for just little mini readings, and I've drawn the three cards like I'm doing today. And it could have the same card drawn for two or three different people, but the message on the card stays the same, but how to interpret it can be different depending on who's receiving it. If that makes sense to you. Okay, so I've guided for card number 1. So all you simply have to do is just, how does this card make you feel when I draw it? Don't overthink it. I'm going to show them at the end again, and then you'll choose which one. And keep that number. Don't change it. Card number 2. And finally, card number 3. All right, so here they are again. Card 1. How does that make you feel? Go with your heart. Card number 2. And card number 3. Sometimes it's difficult because the messages on the card, maybe all of them, you feel drawn to. So that's why at the end, after I explain each card individually, I put the 3 cards together for a collective reading, one that's for all of us. And you may find parts of that you're drawn to then too. Card number 1, you chose the root chakra. Now the root chakra, its location is within our body at the base of our spine. And it's about how we relate to community, family, our tribe, if you will. And it's about that, the lower part of our body as well, your hips, your legs. And it's your sense of feeling secure in where you are, a belonging. So what's this say? Oh, exactly that. Having a sense of security, whether it is through finance or a sense of belonging, can be very grounding. However, caution is needed not to close yourself off to all possibilities that are open to you. Reach outside of your comfort zone and be all that you can be. So, what's that saying right now? Those of you who were drawn to that card, you could be having a sense of insecurity in regard to your finances right now. That it does get it difficult at times, or well, most of the time, with the cost of everything going up so much. A lot of us are, feeling the pressure. And so if you're that is your way right now, you're reminded that to keep yourself in the now and don't close yourself off to possibilities that could be there to help you. Don't be afraid to reach out to the proper people, to the proper organizations that to go and get some advice. It doesn't mean you have to do anything rash or anything. I don't feel that sort of thing, but you don't have to go through this alone. That there are places and people that can help you, even if it's just to talk to somebody about it and then to help you make those financial decisions. And you'll find that things aren't as bad as what you are really afraid they are going to be. You're allowing your worries and to take you into the future, and you're not there yet. And so that you're living in your imagination when you do that. You're thinking of all the negative things that could happen. Yes, we have to be, especially when it comes to money, we do have to think ahead a bit. You can't go out and spend your last dime on something and then wonder about where you're going to get food. But It's just that things aren't as bad as what they present themselves to be because it's how you're looking at it. Take time to evaluate your situation. If you find, especially if you find you're getting overwhelmed with it, go and talk to like a financial advisor or someone like that so that you can get some direction on where you need to go and you'll find it's not as bad. The other part of this card, and I feel that's what applies to some of you, is that there is friction within your family unit, or I'll say your tribe, because sometimes it can be not just your mother and father and siblings, but kind of outside of that, even your good friends that are considered to you like your family, that there's something going on. I feel like it's a difference of opinion when it comes to matters of the heart, to spiritual matters. You may be questioning in your culture, not your culture, but in your community, is what I meant to say, in your religious community. You may be going through a time when you're asking questions and your opinion on things is different than those around you, and it's causing uh, you a feeling that you don't really belong there anymore. And it's scary because it's you want to be there, you love these people, and they love you, but if you're feeling forced to be a way that isn't you, it gets very difficult. So I feel that there are some of you that are going through that inner struggle that way. And again, it's stepping out of that circle. It doesn't mean that you're not going to still love these people. It doesn't mean you're still not going to care about them or they about you. But it may be time that you have to spread your own wings and step outside of that group, get a neutral party to talk to, a place where you feel you can express your own views and rediscover yourself as speaking your truth. Don't feel that you just have to go along with what everyone is saying. You do have your own mind, you do have your own thoughts, and this is a time to address those. What are they? What is true to you? And that way you'll find you can be all you can be. All right, card number 2, the throat chakra, obviously located in the center of our throat. It's about communication, not just about speaking, but there's also comes a time when you need to listen. And when you do speak, it should be the truth. What is true to you? Is it necessary? Will it hurt anybody? Does it need to be said? And again, about listening, because other people have the right to speak their truth as well. And there's a difference in listening just to the point where I'll wait till they're done talking and then I'll say my speech. Actually hearing what they're saying, and even though you don't agree with it, um, understanding where someone's coming from, and because that's what you want people to do with you. So let's see what the message on the throat chakra is today. Being able to speak is not all that is necessary for good communication. You need to listen as well. I think I just said that. Respect the opinions of others, as they are also speaking what they feel to be true to them at this moment in time. And you can see where these messages are starting to tie together. This is about communication. So this isn't just about talking, listening to what's going on in your head. It's how you're expressing yourself. But more importantly, for the upcoming week, you are going to find yourself where you really need to listen to other people, because they are trying to tell you how they feel and expressing themselves. And it may not be coming out the best way, but this is a time to lean on that you're respecting the opinions of others, even though they may not match yours. Maybe again, you're going through a time when you're questioning your own thoughts and what's true to you. It isn't a time to be angry. We don't all need to think the same. We are individual souls that are on a journey to discover our own spirituality, to discover what our own truths, and to find a way that we can live our purpose and find our path. So this week, there might be some challenges there if you're not the type of person who is normally um, patient with others. it's time to draw on that. Perhaps that's your lesson. They're there to help teach you that that ability to be able to listen to their story. And I think you're going to find that there's some of you here that have a situation that you're working through with someone, and you've never really stopped to hear what they have to say about what's going on. And when you really listen, you'll find out they have a story too. And that's where, judgment comes into play. Is sometimes we may be very quick to judge someone by the way they look or an action they just did in that moment, and we form an opinion, and we stop listening to them. Think of yourself this way. Have you ever had a bad day where you've said or done something and you wish you hadn't, because it really wasn't the real you? You were maybe not feeling that well that day physically and emotionally. Maybe you just had a disagreement with a loved one or grieving, and it comes out in other ways. And if that's the only thing that someone saw or heard of you and judged you accordingly without hearing your story, if they heard your story, what difference would it make to them? So think of yourself in that way. When you see someone, don't be too quick to judge, because they have a story too. There's something going on with them. They're struggling. And so it's just reminding you to step back before taking that moment. We shouldn't be judging other people anyway, but before doing that or forming an opinion or speaking out, take the whole thing into consideration, that they're trying to express their opinion as well. And sometimes they don't even realize that that's what they need to do. I find that in my coaching sessions with people, that they're very frustrated and certain things are bothering them and they're trying to work through them. But when you get to the root cause, it could be something that's triggering that, but it's not coming out that way. So they need to talk about it and find the source of their problem. So the reminder here again for this week is you're going to be faced with opportunities to listen to someone else speaking their truth. You don't have to agree with them, but it'll give you a better understanding where they're coming from. Okay, card number 3. Last but not least. Now we've gone outside of the body. I think we had a meditation this week using the Oversoul chakra. So outside of our body, we have the emotional body, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body or universal consciousness, and then we have the oversoul. Now, you may know these outer chakras are sometimes go by different names, but these are the names that I'm using here today. The oversoul chakra is where our Akashic records are kept. It's where you can kind of look at the past, present, and future. And I'm doing a past life regression, for example, with someone. They are actually reaching into that energy source, into that chakra to regain the memories of their past lives. When you're setting your intentions, you are really putting it into that energy as well, because it has not come yet. So you want it out there in that energy center to help you. Okay, so the oversoul chakra is saying, oh, this is too funny. I just so you know, in this deck, there are 13 cards for each of the chakras. Now, this one we already drew this week for a meditation, so it must be a very important message to get through to us this week. Life is a dance in which we all take part. Sometimes you will need to go solo to find out the next step. Other times you will find yourself going in perfect rhythm with others or dancing against a group. The important thing is to take part, experience, and learn. So let's just break this down a little bit. So when you're going through life, and we'll narrow this down to this upcoming week. As you're going through this week, you're going to find that I feel that there are those of you that are having to make decisions. And right now you've been going along the same way as everyone else around you. So again, this could be involving your family, your work, your relationships. You're doing what you feel everyone around you is doing. So it's like a dance. You're doing that dance where everyone's doing the same steps. We're going in the same direction, kind of going with the flow. It's a beautiful dance. But something's come up that perhaps has made you feel that that's a dance you'd like to sit out of. Have you ever had that when you've gone to a dance? Music plays, oh, I don't want to dance to that song. Other ones encourage you to get up. This time, you're going to find out that you need to make a decision. Are you going to continue going with the flow, even though I feel that in your heart it's not really sitting well? You can go up and do your own dance, cut right away from the group and do your own thing. You ever been at a dance and maybe you've been this person that there's that one solo dancer over there just giving it all they got. They're doing their thing. This might be a time you'll find an opportunity where you can break away from that flow, and that can be just your own personal thoughts of how things should go and how things should happen, and maybe a way you've always been doing things, but an opportunity comes up where you can cut away from that and do your own thing. And so sometimes when that happens, though, you have to watch because you might be going against the flow of dancing to a different beat, and it appears that you're going against the group, especially when changes are necessary in your own life or in an organization where you need to make changes. And I feel that there's some of you that work in a work environment where you're making suggestions on making changes to that group that you feel will be an improvement, but others in the group don't agree with you. So that's like you're going against the flow because you really feel strongly that this is something that could really benefit and help. And now is your time over this week. You've been thinking about this for a while. Now is the time to speak up and explain yourself so that others understand where you're coming from. It might not be accepted, at least not right away. But if you don't put the idea out there, if you don't show that you have the knowledge and the backing on promoting this idea, then how are others going to know? And how is it going to come forward and be beneficial to not only yourself, but other people? So I see there's at least a couple of you listening that are in that kind of situation, whether it's a volunteer group or in your work environment. It's time for you to speak up at that meeting and give your honest opinion, not in a judgmental way, but in a helpful way. So before you speak, think about how can I present this, not only maybe complaining about something that's going on, but do I have a constructive answer as to how it could be made better. So that is one of the things there. Also, there's someone who drew this that you're wondering, I'm doing this dance. I'm going along with everybody. I'm going with the flow, and it feels good. Maybe I've found my spot. That's okay too. If you're wondering if you're where you should be. Sometimes when we wonder if we're where we should be, that means maybe we're not. We need to evaluate what we're getting out of this group. Is the group expecting a lot of us? Is it demanding of us that we do X, Y, and Z, or we can't be part of their group? And if you go along with all those things, kudos to you, stay in the group. But if you're uncomfortable with some of those things, it's time to examine it a little bit and be okay with going solo for a while if you need to. All right, so that's cards number 1, 2, and 3. I hope those messages resonated with you. And remember that this is for the upcoming week. So maybe right today, the message seems kind of crazy, but in a couple of days, you'll think, oh, let me go and listen to that again. I think that is me. So let's put the 3 cards together. And as I was reading these, I could definitely see how they all blended together. Did you? Remember, card number 1 was talking about the root chakra. And when I do a 3-card reading, and how I teach others to do it, is the first card you draw is kind of the center of your reading. It's the main theme. And the other two cards help explain it and give you maybe ideas on how to carry this card number one through, or any obstacles that may come up. So in this case, let's just review it. Card number one was the root chakra, and it was about having a sense of security, whether it was financially or in a group like your family, your culture. But there was a warning there. It said, however, caution is needed not to close yourself off to all possibilities that are open to you. So it's talking about could be a time for change. So a time for evaluation. How are you feeling right now financially? How are you feeling in a relationship? And when relationships in this case is more family, friends, community. Are you feeling, is it a comfortable feeling? Or is it more a feeling of, I need to behave this way and act this way, or that I won't be accepted? And it's a fear of not being accepted or not being secure. And if you remember, for those that drew card number one, I said it was a time that of reflection and of asking for help if you needed it, not to be afraid to ask for help. And that's what this says, is to reach outside of your comfort zone. So reach outside of the regular place to look for that help and to look for that security that you're looking for. And tying in that, what's going to help with that is the throat chakra. And it was telling to be able to not only be able to speak, but to listen. So when you do go and ask, so whether it's you just go to the bank to get financial advice or to a financial advisor, or if it's deeper than that, it's something more personal, more spiritual, and you want to go for spiritual coaching, you have to be open to listen when people are trying to help you, or when you go for coaching or counseling, when someone asks you a question, think for a moment before you speak, and speak honestly what your truth is, because you don't help yourself if you're just saying what you think that person wants you to say, or that what would sound good to say. Be honest with yourself. Also, truly listen. Don't, like I said before, just don't wait for them to be done talking. Hear what they're saying and then answer appropriately. And by that, I mean truthfully, what comes from you. So that's going to help. So remember, you're looking for help for your sense of security and belonging. So whether that's financial or in relationships, um, this is time to step out of your comfort zone and actually ask or look for answers outside of that group. Because if that is the place that's causing you stress, you're not going to find your answer there. You need to get somebody who's objective, or a place that's objective, and that you can, but then when you're there, be willing to listen and to be able to speak your own truth honestly in order to help yourself. And as a result of that, in comes the oversoul, where we're told life is a dance. So that may mean that you will be given advice. It's always up to you whether you follow it or not, but it may require you to step out of that dance that you're in right now and go solo for a little while, to do your own thing. And that may even feel like you're going against the flow, against the dance, because you're going to voice your truth, and there will be others who are not going to understand it or be in a place to listen to it. So remember, we're all in our own place. We're all trying to find our own truth. And it's for you to get that courage up to be able to help yourself, to be able to speak your truth, what's true to you, not what you think others want you to hear, the fear of what others think. This is about you. You can't control what they say or do, but you can control what you say or do. So this is your time. If you feel you need to make changes, this is the week to do it, but you need to be the one to do it, to step out of that comfort zone with open ears to listen, to make a decision, even if that means going against the flow. All right? In the end, you will feel much better for it. Let me know in the comments what card you chose and if it resonated with you. And until then, I hope you have a blessed weekend. See you again on Monday for more morning meditations. Namaste.